for what we are, for what we do, for what we say. Because we say what we mean and we do what we say in terms of what we are. So politically in the country, we are very, very much comfortable and we are very happy that history has been able to exonerate us. History has been able to vindicate our generation because we won the Liberian people. We sounded and blew this trumpet that Liberians should have gotten prepared for what we term as the biggest political disaster and catastrophe. Today, I can say this to you. I can walk on Broad Street. I can go to Togo community. I can go to Nukutan, Claratan. I can go to Nima. I can travel all around with my head up. That have been exonerated. We have been exonerated. We've been exonerated. We've been vindicated by history. That what we warned Liberian people about, that the false aristocracy, the unsophisticated political elite class would have come and plunged this country back to the pre-war status. We said that we're going to take this country back to, economic crisis and political crisis. We want the Liberian people, and so I feel living opposition is nice. It's very nice. You can see.
So I'm seeing you, but let me say this. Yeah. Though we will go into it, that is not the introduction of this whole program. But in short, you are trying to say that Bwaka government is not doing well. And you're saying that you've won the mind you, Bwaka Maya completed his 6 years, so he's just in his second year. And we are not even going half of his second year. And you're saying that you've won already. You don't know what is expected to come. But we will get to that shortly. Quickly, this Saturday, there will be a program held at the compounds of the Coalition for Democratic Change. You kept bringing us up to speed what the program will be about and how is it going to be the itinerary for the program.
Thank you all so much, Samira. And let me bring you one revolutionary greetings and felicitation from the chairman, who is the most powerful man in the party as far as the Youth League is concerned, the Revolutionary National Youth League, Comrade Emmanuel Johnson. And let me bring you greetings from the most powerful chairman, Comrade Janga Augusto Cole, and the political leader of our party. As you know, that the CDC is poised to reclaim Constitutional and Democratic Order 2029, to reclaim the presidency 2029, to make George Weah the next president of the Republic of Liberia, and to declare Bwaka as one-term president.
Also, George Weah will be going for the presidency seat?
That is unequivocal. It's clear that.
Well, he had a statement saying that 2029, you resign from politics at about 70
Well, that's not the position, the official position of the party.
Oh, okay.
That's not the official position. The party operates on the consensus of the broader masses of our people, the populace, the indigenous masses, the lucrative proletariats, the ordinary.
So it's the party that is demanding.
Well, of course, it is the party that is on the backs of the impoverished masses of the people, the relegated class, possessed Liberian populace, put George Weah into politics, so he doesn't have option. And so when the people say 2029 he'll be catapulted, he'll be placed to the presidency, we say that because the party makes decisions on the basis of its own aspirations and its own political undertaking.
So hold on, Alvin, let's get this straight. You're saying that the political leader for CDC and the past president of this country doesn't have option, he doesn't have his own will as to if he wants to be a president or not. Is that what you're saying? Of
course. I'm saying this because.
So his political life is being determined by CDC.
No. He is an embodiment of the CDC. The political leader is the founding father of the Congress for Democratic Change. He envisioned what is being construed in the context of our contemporary political dynamic as what is construed at the Congress for Democratic Change. His brother, he's the one who nurtured that institution. So what I'm saying to you here is that Mr. Weah, His Excellency President Weah, President Emeritus of the Republic of Liberia, is a popular demand. It's a popular demand right now across the landscape. Not only citizens are alone calling for His Excellency or to come back to the presidency, but people who have no political alignment, no political relations, and business with the CDC across the political, from different, if you look at the demographics, the political demographics, the population, clearly you can. I mean, there's a popular demand for George Weah to come back to the
And how can you tell?
I am telling you because I mean, you're not seeing that because you're playing the devil advocate here. But if you look at the context of, I mean, this society currently, you realize that the current, I mean, the national quagmire, the political madman, the historical accident, the mistake in President Weah has legitimized the return of the Congress for Democratic Change 2029. And the government is a democratic legitimacy in terms of governance, in terms of politics, in terms of socio-economic development, in terms of equitable distribution of the resources.
So we will go to that. Let us talk about this Saturday program.
Yeah. So the question is that I saw people who are reading it, they didn't understand how the CDC operates. The CDC constitution. If you check within the bailiwick of the CDC's constitution, the CDC constitution, there is a provision that is enshrined and inculcated within the CDC's constitution that speaks clearly, fundamentally about due payment. And so due payment is a law. It's a usual routine that the party has always been able to support so that the party keeps running. Because in Liberia, if you trace history and you do a political survey of history in terms of party politics, many times and too often, political parties in Liberia historically has been monopolized by family enterprise or have been governed by what we call self-proprietorship or monopolized parties differently through sole proprietorship. That's the word, sole proprietorship. I mean, one individual claiming ownership or monopoly over a particular institution. We have seen that in several different political parties. We think that the CDC, in order to perpetuate the political existence of the CDC has to be very independent from these vices. The CDC has to stand tall from these interferences that are tantamount to undermine its independence. So we say that due payment will strengthen the internal operations of the Congress for Democratic Change. By that, we mean that it provides financial independence to the party, that when the party wants to operate in terms of its operational framework, the party will not suffer financial setbacks. And so with that financial independence, with that financial stability, the party will be able to operate, particularly in this opposition time, where the party has been attacked both externally and internally, and with all of the attacks, the institution, one thing that kept the party going is how the party has been able to sustain herself outside of government. And while we're in government, while we're still in government, the party has always been very independent outside of government funding. That's why if you look at the emergence and the involvement of the CDC since 2024, its establishment to now, the CDC has been very formidable, has been very organized, and still consistent and remain a formidable political force in this contemporary political dispensation with respect to how she has been paying her dues. So due payment is constitutional, it's legal, and that's why we have encouraged all of our partisans to be able to contribute their dollar, just dollar, which is $200 liberty equivalent, right? To pay that. Why is the intent? The intent is to make sure that the CDC sustains itself in opposition, and the CDC sustains itself beyond opposition, because that is how the CDC has been operating. That is a belief that the CDC, and if you look at the entire metrics, we have categorized senators, representatives into different quadrants, into different spectrum, into different following, and they are in class and those people will pay a certain amount. But for the general populace, the general body, in terms of the supporters, the grassroots supporters across the political landscape, across Liberia, even in the diaspora, you are only required to pay $1. You are only required to pay just $1, and that dollar can be paid by these processes that we've mentioned in our jingle and we've mentioned on our flyers. So we contacted 2 banking entities and institutions. The GT's Bank, we contacted the GT Bank, and we have the account of the GT Bank. We also doing business with the UBA's bank. So nobody is going to claim access or have access to the finances. Okay,
so this Saturday you'll be expecting citizens to go at the party headquarters with their dollar.
Exactly. So
it's equivalent in Liberty.
In Liberty. So GD Bank we are doing business with the UBS Bank, and then we got a due book set up that we pay $1, we'll get you receipt. So
is there a mobile number too?
Yeah.
Not every time people have the chance to get at the party.
We have the mobile numbers, and we have the bank account numbers that we've been reading, and we'll also share that with you as we are parting comments. Parting your airwaves, we'll be able to read that out to them, and so we will understand. But if we go at the party's headquarters on April 12th, that we will be able to explain further in details. Okay. We'll be able to navigate through the very processes about how the deep payment exercise will be done. Okay. So our partisans can rest assured that April 12th will be the partisans of the CDC. It's an open invitation. You don't have to be a partisan, but if you feel disappointed, if you feel embarrassed about how Mr. Boakai has been able to govern this country since his ascendancy to the presidency, and you think that the CDC is an alternative to national governance 2029, and you think that you trust and believe in the workings and operations of the Indemnity Micro Congress for Democratic Change, as solidarity forces, even civil servants, motorcyclists, even marketeers and street vendors, there's an open process. You will be protected. The CDC will guide you and will show that you are absorbed within the metrics and be part of history making. So that is what is called the national due payment. Okay,
so the national due payment, you have a varieties of individuals that will be paying a specific amount, right? It's been distinguished. The National Executive Committee members will pay $100 USD or its equivalent in USD in Liberty. CDC Legislative Caucus, the Senate, they will pay USD 500. CDC Legislative Caucus, the House of Representatives, they will pay USD 300. The former ministers and heads of agencies will pay 100 United States dollars, and deputy heads will pay 50 United States dollars. The National Women and Youth League executives will pay USD 10 USD. $10. And you have the senior party stalwarts. They will pay 20 USD, and you have the counter executive committee members. They will pay 20 USD. You have the district executive members will pay 5 USD. You have the National Auxiliary Network executives. They will pay 10 USD. You have the National Auxiliary Chairperson and leadership. They will pay $3. You have the Zuma executive members that will pay $3. You have the general grassroots members. And these are the people that Alvin is pressing on. These are the people that will be bringing in the $1. I think it's fair enough. The $1. Yeah, the $1 for people, it's equivalent, excuse me, will be 200 and all of that. But what will be the time of the program before we move on to our next segment? Yeah, so the time is in the morning, very, very early in the morning. The dress code. Yeah, the dress code is, you can dress your party's regalia. Or paraphernalia. The official dress code of the Congress for Democratic Change is blue. Of course, if you choose to wear berets to identify, citizens have never hidden from their identity. They have never escaped from their revolutionary obligation and support towards the Congress for Democratic Change. So
You are asked to dress in your blue. You can come with your boots on. You come with your berets, and you can also decide to come casual. Anything you wish to do as a partisan, the choice is yours. You have the opportunity, you have the leverage to do so. So we have said time to our neighbors that Samira, the convergence is bigger more than just due payment. It's about it's about legitimizing our claims and our assertions we made. We are going to just gather to also reflect on the gains, achievements, the democratic initiatives. I mean, the progressive actions that President we are told to change the dynamics of our politics. I mean, the investments into road, into education, into health, into agriculture, into the rule of law. So it will be a massive convergence of the people celebrating and say, this is what we. So this is our institution. We told the Liberian people that they didn't listen, but they reincarnated to a party extension that is now national economic and political interests.
Okay. So if you're listening, we have Alvin Wesseh in studio, and we will run up to 10 o'clock this morning. Those of you who's listening, it's about time. We'll take a break and then we'll do the cash giveaway. So if you're listening, play now. Because when that time reaches for us to give out the 10,000, we don't want people saying, Samira, you did not do well. So I'm telling you to play now. Start dialing *799 *90#. Play with $200 Liberian dollars and win yourself some money here. Now, we're done with the due segment here. We will go into other issues like we said on the broadcast. So those of you listening, wear your seatbelts as we take you through, okay? You will have the chance to make calls. Probably when we are done with 2 or 3 conversations, then we open the phone line before we continue. So those of you who want to ask questions about the due payment program that will be held on April 12th, you can keep all of the comments, take pen and paper, write them down, and you'll be able to ask all of the questions once we open our phone lines. Now, Alvin, let's go into this issue. Few weeks back, you saw that there was a news all on the internet, and it was vivid. We saw the President Bwaka, a vehicle that cost $1 million at about this time in the country. And I know that you saw it. Let's be able to have a conversation around this issue that has to do with the President Bwaka buying a bulletproof car that costs that amount within this economy. What do you have to say about that?
I think Bwaka is a threat to national security. Bwaka is a threat to national security.
Why? How?
I mean, that is provoking. He's an agent provocateur. He's inviting crisis, inviting conflict in the country. He's creating a stage for this country's fragile peace and security to go back to where we came from, the 40 years of brutal, devastating civil unrest. Samira, one of the reasons why Liberians have to 250,000 of them lost their lives is because they got fed up with the injustices being perpetrated on governments, previous governments, whether on their fundamental of the right to economic empowerment and political inclusion. And so the state under Joseph Newman Bwaka is not different from what we experienced and what Liberians went through under different administrations, under different governments. And so Bwaka is becoming a threat, not just threat, but an existential threat to national security.
So it's buying a vehicle threat to national security.
National security, but thousands of health workers in the country, are embarrassed. They are disappointed in the government, that the government lied to them that they were going to ensure that they pay their salaries and augment their salaries and improve the health sector. And up to date, these health workers are in not just economic quagmire, they are in situational dilemma and in financial crisis. You just witnessed the Universal Faculty Association just issued a press statement that they've been owed about 1 year of their salaries, just benefits and salaries. The government does not care. Bwaka does not care about them. You saw the MCSS students moving on the street, the stampede, and the corridors, they vibrated the pillars and stormed the system. They were demanding quality education. We were talking about teachers returning back to classes because the government had refused to deal with their conditions, to deal with their plights. Today, you saw what happened in the country. There is economic disparity between the wealth class of the political elites, those who are in the hierarchical order of the Unity Party bureaucracy. I talk about the big shops on the Waka. They live in luxury while they return misery and disaster and economic anarchy. To the masses of our people. You see what happened in the country? Samira, the hardship in the country is enormous. There's total economic destitution in the country. People are being thrown out of schools. People go to hospitals. No money in the country. Today the markets across this country are getting empty. Go to Douala, go to Watosa, go to Painesville. You can see clearly that the buyers more and the market forces are not interacting because prices of significant commodities and goods and services on Waka has escalated and skyrocketed because of the appalling and hardship and economic condition and the concrete material realities that this government has taken over for the past 1 year and a half. So if you look across the country, any sensible and responsible leader, particularly Mr. Bakai, who purported himself as for the 2 years experienced man been working in government, who purported himself on the rescue mantra, will use austerity measure to make serious intervention in areas that confront the happiness and that put burden on the masses of the people. Instead, this man is having long appetite for material prosperity.
But let's not forget that he's the president and he needs protection. There was a security sector, as I learned, that even said that they should come up with something to protect the president. So he's the president. Don't you think that he should be riding such vehicle, or because the past president, this president should be riding?
Samira, what protection, the best protection you can get is the protection from the masses of our people. That's the best protection. When the president is economically dispensing justice, when they are equitable distribution of the resources of the masses of the people themselves will provide protection. The people themselves will provide protection for the states, and with the legitimacy that you get when the health system is improved, when the education system is improved, when thousands of young people are given opportunity for employment, and when you create viable space within the private sector that absorb young people with the education, with the skills, with the talents, and they can deploy it to work and be able to pay rent and be able to send their children to school and pay hospital bill. When you organize yourself in that manner and fashion, the people themselves can protect you. No bulletproof can protect the president when the president becomes very unpopular like Mr. Waka.
Well, it's alleged that the president's vehicle is shot, right? Because it's alleged that the former president took one of the presidential vehicle with him while he was leaving power.
Well, I think that's a flimsy excuse. It's not that flimsy, but a feeble excuse. And the Unity Party is always trying to pride herself as a propaganda machinery. So they lie with excellence and they lie without remorse. I'm saying to you here that this president, few months or a year ago, sat on national platform and he said he was living on loan. He said that he was riding wheelbarrow to go to work. How can this man who said he was riding wheelbarrow to go to work will be flying with Beer Mountain private jet just to go to Fuya, just to go to Sierra Leone? How can this man come back and ride Lexus vehicle that worth 1.2 million in a struggling and selfish, devastating economy? This is provoking. This is tangible to protestation of evil. The spontaneity of evil. The people should be awakened. If the people have not seen that the people are in misery and the president is lavishing in opulence, in extravagance, in affluence, is there the kind of rescue mission that Bagai promised and to the Liberian people? Is that what he promised? You cannot fly with lots of right workers as demonstrating. You cannot fly in the face of abject poverty. Go on Broad Street. You can see poverty poverty on the faces of the people. Poverty written on the faces of the people. Go to the motorcyclists, community, go to the motorcyclists and see the disgust from the motorcyclists. See how the people are angry. And the tempo of the society is increasing. The tempo of the society is increasing. The students for MCSS are demonstrating for quality education and return of their teachers to classes. The students from the University of Liberia are agitating the faculty as well. People in different locations in Liberia are facing the excruciating economic realities, the pains and agonies of bad governance and economic inequality in the country. And you said here, and Waka raised with $1.2 million United States dollars in the economy, when you say it's now withdrawing because of the new policy from the American government in fighting wage and other things, our president in third world economy, very struggling in the face of a decision. In fact, the finance minister, Ono Bakai, even said that the economy will be very worse. How can your finance minister say the economy will be very worse and you own enjoyment? That is on economic safari. It's on economic safari, political safari. Baga has to be reminded by protest. He has to be reminded by demonstration. Baga has to be reminded that this country is not Baga's republic. It is the Republic of Liberia. You can bastard dance everything here, and you think that this country was meant to satisfy your parochial political interest and lavish lifestyle. You work for 42 years in government. What are you still looking for? All through your life, you are now working in the private sector. I challenge Baga. Baga has never worked in the private sector in his entire political career. Never in your lifetime. He's always a parasite and liability on government.
Okay, I mean, so we're talking about this vehicle aspect, right? Don't you think that over the past 6 years, some of the things that CDC did, although they have their own flaws, right? Some of the things that are carried on by CDC, right? Don't you think that they're even more than a president buying a vehicle for his protection?
Well, I don't believe so. I don't think so. The CDC were not seeing passing. According to them, they said they were coming to correct. There will not be business as usual. That's what they said.
So buying a vehicle at that amount is
no, not just any vehicle. It's not just any vehicle. We're talking about vehicle that Elon Musk is not even riding. A colleague Elon Musk. And you know what I'm saying? We're talking about in an economy where the reality is leading to the masses of people into serious situation.
So are you talking for the masses? Or are you talking for the masses, or talking because of the economy that we're in, or you are talking because this is hurting you because you are from CDC and your government did not do it, so it means that this government shouldn't do it?
At this time in our we're making interventions, we're dealing with education, we're bending rules. We were declaring free tuition and WASH policy free of charge.
Okay.
We were engaged into market structural development across the landscape. We are making intervention in agriculture. We are saying to you, it is only an insensitive president who is bent on looting state resources and depleting state coffers. Will be very reckless in making expenditure. Will be very reckless in spending. You have a finance minister that has come and declared that the economy will be very tough, worst ever in the history of the country. He said the country will go into recession, economic recession. The country is going into economic recession. Banking institutions, they are not investors in the country. Not single investor in the country has come on the Biden administration. I mean, you have a very dangerous democratic atmosphere where, there's total political disintegration and chaos in the country. When you have a situation coming from the Minister of Finance himself, and you see Liberians now today, there's hardship and widespread poverty, agile malnutrition, and political destitution across this country. 2 million. That money could be used to pay health workers' salaries, to increase their salaries. That money could be used to increase the salaries of civil servants. It could be used to pay the very teachers at the University of Bureau. It could be used to pay the students, the teachers at the MCSS schools. So it is an affront. It is not just an affront, but it is a provocation. And Baga is temporary with the peace. That's why I declare him as a national security threat. Because anything that happens in the country, Baka will be held reprehensible. He'll be held responsible for the consequences that Baka is putting the plunge the country into. No serious president will do that. Not even the brother from Burkina Faso will do that, or not even maybe we'll go around the regions. What in West Africa around? Which one of the presidents you see, diving into luxury? Which one of the presidents come on stage in the economy? But there's no money.
So places concerning the past government 1.5 year in power and this government 1.5 year in power. You are trying to say that your government did well for the 1.5 year that is spending power than this government 1.5 year in power.
I don't need to say that. Go on the streets, Amira. Go on the streets. You'll see.
But how do you call him? Alvin. Can you not see that this government negotiated for the yellow machines and there's new contracts and then the yellow machine will come to the country? There was a deduction being made. Also, the Liberia water and soil, you see pipes coming in for China. Don't you, the roads, the circling the road, though there's a controversy over it as to whether it is we are that is opening the road or it is this government. But did you look at all of these things? It's just the same way they happen. And you people, compare these things.
It's not just laughable. It is a disgrace. It's an embarrassment for you to want to compare this reckless and insensitive government to that of the government of the mighty Congress for democracy. No. The question. Let's go back to the yellow machine deal.
Yes, the yellow machine deal.
One of the criminal deals in this country. The government said they were bringing 285 yellow machines. That way, the people know.
Yeah.
So where are the 285 yellow machines?
They are coming.
Where are they taking the money from? They need to tell us who bringing the money. Where are they taking the money from? Where are the 285 yellow machines? The government promised a scholarship for over 250 students through MEDTech. The Nicotech scholarship. The Nicotech scholarship. Where is it currently? Where is the Nicotech scholarship? Where is the Nicotech scholarship? The government said they're going to get 10,000. Young people to move them into information technology and everything to educate them and provide. Where are the 10,000 young people currently?
Let's look at this machine issue. Yeah. There was a renegotiation done by this company. They came up and they said that it's 43 million for the 285 machines. But yet it's still this whole time the vice president went renegotiated and they came up to 22 million. Don't you think that that's a boost for our how do you call it the fiscal responsibility?
Well, the first thing the executive alone on our law cannot negotiate. It has to be done through due diligence with oversight from the House or representative or from the national legislature. That is what we construed in the context of the separation of power and coordination. I'm saying to you, Jeremiah is a dubious man. Jeremiah is a black deal man. I'm telling you. I mean, it's not strange you saw Jeremiah. Who Jeremiah is with to the presidency in so many ways. You know that very well. He's a very desperate young man.
Okay, so you do not count the yellow machine. We are looking at it. What do they have here?
I've been told the yellow machine will be breaking people's houses. I've been told that. I'm telling you, some of the yellow machine will be breaking people's houses. They have started the process.
Well, how will say that?
I'm telling you, they have started.
Except the people houses, they are
I'm telling you, what they started, they are about to end it.
Except they are only
the Liberia Party government is very good at destroying lives and properties. I'm telling you that. This is what I mean. Let me tell you this. We talk about bread and butter issue in the country, Samira. Liberians are hungry, Samira. There's no food, there's no job, there's no employment opportunity for them. But the multiplicity of yellow machines you bring the country, if you let go bring the whole of China and bring yellow machine, people get eat yellow machine. You understand? The economy is tough, the economy is in a free fall. There is a devastating economic quagmire. I mean, if you go on Broad Street, you see poverty rate on the faces of the masses of the people who are agitated. There is economic.
But the yellow machines will have a roll.
I'm telling you, people don't eat rolls. I mean, people don't eat.
People buy rolls to bring things.
Go on, bread.
But the United People say that they should put bread.
No. We bear rolls in this country. Who tells you that bread people issue about roll alone? If they were so, then the issues about the election result have been come and taken. I mean, the hands of the CDC. We bear rolls in this country. We bear rolls. No government. It is questioning. since the history and foundation of this country have been more rules in its first tenure, to as compared to the government of the indemnity mighty Congress for democratic change. So we bear rules in this country here. And the Union People said that role will eat. So we say that yellow machine will eat. We talk about bread and butter issue in the country. How do we solve unemployment in the country? That's what we're talking about. How do we solve the issues of youth employment in the country? How do we solve the issues about young people in the private sector through giving them business, giving them finances to do. For example, how do we empower women and farmers to ensure that they invest into subsistence farming and in transition into commercial farming? How do we have a viable educational system and improve health sector in the country? Those are the conversations. You're not talking about political yellow machine that come in the country. Those are political yellow machine. Those machines are coming here to get this second law because we want for re-elections in a district.
Well, don't you think that will help with roads development?
I'm saying it is the first step of the yellow machine that we said it was an attempt to just affirm and funnel state resources and to deplete state covers. When we read beyond them, that I remember just after them, they retreated to the catapult that they say the thing reducing now from 80 billion. Imagine. Soon the money, the first 2 months of government wants to 80 billion. We read them. We Ramatars, we created the brouhaha to put us beyond them. And they retreated to 22 billion. The next thing we question them where they're taking out 22 million from. They will end up going to 9 billion. These are criminals, parading in clean clothes. These are state criminals. These are looters. These are economic vultures. These are political recidivists. They have not had any good record in this country. Jeremiah Kun and the gangster boss in Mr. Waka looted state covers for many years. They have leached on government resources for many years in this country. We think we are impressed about multiplicity of yellow machine parading with one political beautician or beauty pageant. What I call Mamaka ability. It's not a point where I'm in the country, say that on the yellow machine and part around the play and be waving your hand. You understand? Don't go playing fun like people. But there'll be a time where the people will come out and will do their own industrial faith. There'll be a spontaneous upheaval. There'll be a time where the masses of the people will not take no location. So let Mamaka ability be on yellow machine, be waving your hand, I said of your own queen contest here. When we ran Ghana for 80 billion, they want to see 80 billion, but we ran Ghana, they have retreated to 22 million. We are asking, where is the money in the budget for the 22 million? Where are they taking the money from?
Maybe they'll put it in the next budget.
Where? It's not there. Where are they taking it from?
Budget.
The next budget is the next budget. So we're saying to you, let us deal with your promises. Let us deal with the bread and butter issues. Let us focus on the material and concrete conditions of the masses of the people. The people are hungry, the health workers are angry with the regime. I can tell facilities, go to the MCSS schools and private schools. The enrollment now has dropped because the economy is tough. I mean, parents can no longer afford school fees because they laid so many off. They laid it off. You know that thousands of people were laid off. I mean, some of them were civil servants. They have been laid off. They have laid off even people who were been working in government far before their time. And so those are things that happen in the country, and the people are happening very soon. So the whole government is just it's a bunch of political elites that just parading and without sense of understanding about what.
Okay. So let's move on to this issue. Liberians, we will soon open the lines for you. This issue that has to do with the House of Representatives. Mind you, the President Bwakai, he asked the Supreme Court for 2 weeks so that he be able to intervene in the saga that went on with the House of Representatives. And then at the same time, on yesterday, the Supreme Court was to come up with its final ruling concerning the issue that has to do with the embattled Speaker Fonati and the majority bloc Speaker Richard Kun. And now the President asked for 2 weeks in order to settle it.
Settle what?
Settle all of the hulu baru that is going on there.
The first thing that Samira, Bwaka is taking this country back to civil crisis.
How?
look at what Baka is doing.
Mm.
Even Baka to pronounce at the center of this conflict, the first thing you understand, let me just give you a brief history about Baka and the Unity Party.
Okay.
It has always been the nature of the Unity Party to go against speakers that do not subscribe to their national political interests or belief or strategic national interests. They did that to Edwin Snow. They did that to Mr. Electoral. The situation at the Capitol building with Mr. Funati Kofa is a continuation and extension of the diabolical Unity Party's dangerous maneuvering and project intended to undermine the functions of the three branches of government and to arrogate or to get power, to get undue power, which the Constitution does not provide, undue power to Mr. Baka, thus making him an imperial president. This is unprecedented. It is my very first time to listen and to hear that a branch of government which is supposed to be an autonomous body of the other two branches of government, because there are three branches. The Supreme Court of Liberia is under the judicial branch of government. It's by the doctrine of separation of power, no one branch of government should interfere in the working of the Supreme Court of the Liberia or the judicial branch of government. Mr. Baka did not interfere at the legislature, for which today we are in a serious crisis. Today, he's asking members on the Supreme Court's bench, he asked them to suspend or to postpone their ruling for 2 weeks. This is a form of dictatorship, and this is interfering into another branch of government. Which country are we running? Where is the rule of law? Where in this country the Constitution says that the president has power and jurisdiction, absolute control over another branch of government? Where in the Constitution that it says that? Where in the whether the 1847 Constitution or the 1986 Constitution? Let's go there.
Okay, so it would be that the Constitution doesn't state that, or ask the president, since this thing happened going on, he decided and said, let me be able to talk to the both parties and see as to where this will get us before the Justice Ministry come up with its ruling, or the Supreme Court, come up with its ruling. It would not be that the president, but the president has been sitting here and not been interfering.
Samuel, from the onset, interfere. In fact, President Newman Baka is the perpetrator, is the progenitor, is someone who orchestrated this. Baka is don't forget, Baka is the last surviving mafia of the old order. He's a dangerous maneuverer. He's the one orchestrating the conflict at the House of Representatives.
How?
You listen to Mr. Richard Kuhn, the puppet speaker. Listen to him. The puppet speaker, he said clearly on this national platform
that he's a regime.
He's a regime puppet.
But that doesn't mean that the president is in agreement with
so until the Ministry of Information and the government on Baka, the assertion made by Richard Kuhn, then it's for us.
So you're saying that the president should be rejecting things and people will be saying
I'm saying, so who control the police? Who unleashed Gabriel Common against us at the level of the Capitol building? Who unleashed Gabriel Common? Who never spread lawmakers? Who burglarized the Lieutenant Speaker's office, Mr. Funati Kofa? Who instructed them all our forces there?
So all of these things are
no, I'm saying for you, no. Richard Kuhn does not work in isolation. Richard Kuhn told you that he dances at the whims and caprices of the regime, the executive
You
master.
are accusing the president doesn't. He's not in close attention. He's not in agreement with one of the things he's doing. You can remember that he called Funati the other day to talk to Funati. So it could be that he's not the one that's telling them, go and remove this member in office, go and do this one, go and call yourself a regime speaker.
I tell you, Kuhn, violation, his ability. He does not have the minimal political, democratic, legislative way to even go after fanatical for politically on a level playing field. He doesn't have.
So who sent him?
But who was sending him? That's Leo Faru operating in Desha level few days ago. Why took all the money for the people in hotel? In ARJ. Where took the money from?
Who bought any ARJ again?
Bretta Kuhn.
Or RLJ?
I mean RLJ.
Yeah, who bought them there?
Bretta Kuhn. Where he took the money from? Why Bretta Kuhn took the money from about 25? About 40 plus lawmakers living in luxury.
So you
at that hotel. I'm telling you, where he took that power from? Who commissioned, who authorized the police? Who empowered, commissioned, and authorized the police to move at the Capitol building and beat on opposing lawmakers who were on the side of the legitimate figure, Honorable Fanatikofa? Who instructed them? Who do the executive, the police director or the police take instruction from? If not the executive, is who? Who was seen parading do the armed forces there when a fraction of the majority black went into Speaker Kofa's office and vandalized the place? Who went in Mr. Yega Koruba's vehicle and vandalized the vehicle as well, vandalized the place?
So these are some of the reasons that the president is saying, let me intervene. At times it's like this, right? You will want to wait for the issue to reach at its peak before you speak as a leader. Though it's not in the Constitution. Well, it could be, let me see how far they're going to go with this. It doesn't mean that the executive is backing it,
in Baka, who purported and masqueraded, oscillated, and prided himself as so-called experts and for the 2-year experience. Let me tell you this. When you drink conflict resolution, I'm not a student of conflict resolution, and I don't want to pretend to be one. But I think people look at the causation, people look at the root cause of problem. From the onset, from the initial stage, any responsible president who purports to be the father of the land will have gone right at the Capitol building initially and make intervention. This man went to address in a state of national address to the legislature in the absence of the Supreme Court members, justices, in the absence of the minority leadership, in the absence of Mr. Fanatikofa, Bagay addressed the Liberian people, addressed a fraction of legislators that he supported. Then you telling me that this man is not aware of the conflict, but this man is the chief patron trying to sow a seed of discord and trying to take the country back to several classes in the country, and you telling me that he's not aware? Who told you Bagay is not aware? Who told you Bagay is not aware of people losing their tenure positions?
But I want to ask this, Alvin. Is it that it was Waka that collected all the people decided? Maybe it's because of some ways that Fonatitu has. So because they said that they cannot sit under him for no reason. So who knows as to what kind of problem they are encountering in that house? That's the reason why they said that they cannot sit under him. That's the reason why you have the majority minority block. So it was that Waka that went and said that put your name on the paper.
So Waka plays a very major role. Mr. Richard Kuhn has indicted Mr. Waka.
Okay.
He said that, what more evidence are you looking for? Who hosted the guys at the hotel? Who gave the guys money for lawmakers who can? When you just took over, no money in the country.
But they are lawmakers.
I'm telling you, most of the guys are operating on borrowed time economically. They don't have the economic financial capacity to spend more than 2 months in that hotel. They don't have the money. So who gave the power that you must protect one group of lawmakers? The Liberia National Police or Greco Common, for example. Who instructed that they should beat on lawmakers and pepper spray them? Who instructed?
So you're saying that?
How does it concern another branch of government? The judicial branch of government, the Supreme Court, is the highest arbiter of justice. How does it concern the president? The Supreme Court is about to give a ruling on a bill of information file. And you come in as a president, you say that the people must suspend and postpone. That is interference.
So do you think that the president knows as to what will be the result of the bill of the so that's the reason why he said that they should give him 2 weeks to talk to the Pope.
Why is the fear? Is he going to in the 2 weeks period? Is he going to tell his gangsters, legislative criminals at the house of 55th legislature to go back on the gallows of Nandikofa? Is that what he's asking for? Is that what he's asking for? Is he asking for us to go to status quo and return the legislature to a constitutional and democratic order where the rule of law will take over from the rule of might and the rule of power and gangsterism and from the rule of hooliganism and from the rule of vandalism? Is that what he's talking about, Samira? I'm saying to you, the president had no business interfering in the Supreme Court's decision. To even say that it undermines the independence of the judicial system, and I want to warn the justices on the Supreme Court bench. It is a caveat to you. Your repetition is on the line. Do not listen to Mr. Baga. When Mr. Baga will be sanctioned, do not be the one to be sanctioned. When Mr. Baga's administration and officials will be sanctioned, do not put your integrity on the line for Mr. Baga. Everything on Baga has broken down. Baga going after the democracy, he put all he's urinating on the constitution of the Republic of Liberia. He bastardizing the executive branch of government, lawlessness in the country all around the place. There is total disintegration and political chaos. Baga is coming after the Supreme Court, and I want for the Supreme Court to not do business with Joseph Baga. Because doing so, you're going to undermine the independence of the 3 branches of government. And if the 3 branches of government are undermined, automatically the citizens will be left with no option to provide governance for themselves. And in a state where the citizens provide governance for themselves, every rule apply on the streets. Every rule apply. The people who exist on the street and they will demand on Article 1 for the government to come down. Don't do that. Constitutionally, you can go after the legislative branch, go after the executive branch, and you are going after the judicial branch.
So you think that the Supreme Court were not going to agree to the president's demand?
I mean, the Supreme Court is an independent branch of government. They got no business. Or first of all, can you say that you want? They're not work for you. They work for the Liberia people. They work for you. The Constitution gave them the right to be independent. That's what the Constitution said. What does Baga want? What does Baga want? He's asking for excessive power that the Constitution does not provide. That the Constitution does not give him. The Constitution does not give the president excessive power. That was the frameworks of the 1986 Constitution were very clear. That all branches of government are co-function and they are co-equal. And they operate under the doctrine of separation of power. Why would Baga want to get a kangaroo and puppet of a speaker who is saying that he's a regime speaker to do what? Because he wants to steal, he wants to bastardize and circumvent the laws of our country. That's why he wants somebody at that place.
So do you think that if the president was to intervene, he was to intervene since?
It's belated, Samira. It's belated. But you can't intervene when there's a proportion. When the state is going to anarchy, the state is going to degenerating the crisis. The country is preparing for one of the most dangerous political upheaval in the country. The state is on time bomb. The state is on time bomb. That time Baga coming intervene. What kind of president is this? Very irresponsible president. We want Baga on this radio several times that you gotta stop what you're doing here. You gotta stop it. George Weah Excellency came to this country. He not interfere in the workings of the Supreme Court. He not interfere in the workings of the judiciary. He not interfere in the workings of the executive branch and the legislative branch of government.
But someone said that's a norm. It's almost like a norm. It's not by constitution. It's not written. It's not a law. But this thing working when there is a CDC government and there is a CDC speaker. So maybe Baga too, you want a unity party speaker.
No, but the Constitution does not say that you must get unity party speaker. The Constitution does not say so. You have the biggest responsibility on our law. All you need to do is to put your agenda on the table, your rescue agenda, and place it before the Liberian people, and be able to implement some of the policies. But to go after civil servants, to go after motorcyclists, to go after people with tenure position, to go after 500 EPS people, to go after the legislature, to go after the judiciary, and to go after CDC headquarters. Imagine that. You're going after lessors and going after private jet. What does Baga want? What does Baga want? Who Baga thinks he is? Who is he? Is he bigger than this country? Before Baga, there was Liberia. Baka is not bigger than the Constitution of Liberia. Baka is not bigger than Liberia. Liberia is older than Baka. Baka will leave and Liberia will remain. So we're not going to sit down here for one man to take the country back to civil unrest, and he goes with his children abroad, and thousands of young people continue to suffer in the state of academic, in political institution. This is wrong. This is wrong, Samira. And if care is not taken, the Supreme Court, we are watching them very carefully. Every ruling you come out, it will be protected, whether for or against, but it should be void of interference. If Baka wants to take this country to the two-party time and dynasty, one-party state, one-party hegemony, where there'll be no legislature, there'll be no judiciary, then the Liberian people are going to exist into April 14, 1970. So, civil upheaval and civil disobedience, the people will rise and the people will rally. The people will rally and the people will rise and they will take on the street and demand the government to go back to constitutional and democratic order. Okay. If enough is enough, you cannot go after motorcyclists, go after CDC party headquarters, go after civil service, go after private jet, go after lessons, take the judiciary down, take the executive down, and we fold our hands. This time around, there'll be a set of Peter Foles, a force of guarantee that Baka will have to remember history.
Okay, I know that people want places that calls and that the calls to be as many as I can tell you, but let's go on to this issue, and let's just take about 5 to 6 minutes on it roughly, then allow people to make their points, because we have concluded like 3 talking points already. Right. So we do this, then we open the phone lines because Liberians want to say something. This issue has to do with the attack on Edith.
Yeah, so the Congress for Democratic Change, the national chairman of our party, categorically through the National Executive Committee, wrote a release, and we said that it was not just anti-democratic, it was ruthless, and such actions should never happen, not only against Edith Gongwe. We saw the attack, and we see the attack as an attack against a female candidate, and we see it as something that's anti-peace and that's striking the peace and security of our fragile democracy. We understand that the vice president, we understand that in his political desperation for power is doing everything possible to impose the man who is at the center of the conflicts and crisis in Himakante Mesokoga. Okay. And so by everything possible, they are using the politics of intimidation and fear and trying to prevent not just Edith Gongwe, but they are preventing Garrison Yenu, and they are also preventing of other independent candidates in the process. We think categorically that if that action continues, the government will set the stage to undermine our own governance. I repeat, if that issue continues, it is the government that is going to undermine the governance of the states and our own governance, because this is not going to happen. We have understood from what we witnessing that the man Edith Gongwe, Garrison and the rest of the people are in Woko. They are enjoying comfortable lead. They are in comfortable lead as per what we see from the processes in the camp. The mobilization of the people in Nima County. Let me say this to you: the people of Nima County are very wise. They are very conscious. That Nima County, that election is a referendum. That what we said to the people, if the people, I know that they will not settle for political gamble. I know that. They will not settle for political gamble. The United Party has been very disingenuous. Bakari and Mr. Jeremiah Kun, they've been very disingenuous to the people of Nima County. What Nima County did to them, they did not pay back to Nima. They took one of their sons away. Prince Lubert Johnson, not only that they took their son away, but they went as far as distributing jobs amongst their friends, their relatives, their cronies, their surrogates, and their puppets who they feel in those poor Negroes who subscribe to their parochial agenda. Now the people of Nima County, the people better, they are angry. So if the people of Nima County are listening, I want to say this to them, that the CDC is in solidarity. They must reject categorically the government candidate, the majority black candidate, Koga, who is at the center of crisis for which today this issue. You don't forget, he was a chairman He brought this conflict, he brought a crisis here. He is imposing himself on the people, and the people are rejecting them. The signals are on the wall. And so if the people of Nima County are comfortable with the way Prince Johnson passed out, they should go and vote Koga. If they are comfortable about their economic condition, you can have a vice president who does not care, who employ your cronies and family. Then you can go ahead and but if you are not comfortable, then you have the revolutionary mandate to categorically reject Koga, who is a government candidate. Koga is the reason why you should reject. I mean, Baka, Jeremiah Kun, the bad economic condition in the country, the crisis in the legislature are the reasons why you should reject Mr. Koga. Because if you put Koga there, he will be an extension of the very conflict at the level of nothing new, nothing strange. Koga coming back.
Okay.
Koga coming back to the legislature to call crisis. You eat it down, you call big crisis at the level of the Senate. That's why it's coming from. It's a division, it's a bad example of democracy. It should be rejected by the conscious people in Nima County.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. It's about time that we go to the phone lines. It's about time that we do that. Y'all wait, let me announce the numbers, okay? You will ask all of your questions you want to ask and do everything. But just before we go to the phone lines, just the same thing I was talking this morning. Today, media dinner. AOC, the same thing I was talking, I said it here. I said the reason why the president did not appear on Truth yesterday is because the president said I want to have dinner with the people before he appeared. So you'll be looking like you will be appropriate to the man. The man that said ask the question here. If I can hear a station, do not ask this question here. So today will be the presidential media dinner. And it's only by invitation. If they invite you, you're a journalist. If they send invitation, you don't feel disappointed in me. I will go there. When they invite me, I will go there to go and have dinner with the president. Okay, so the invitation is here. Today the dinner will start by 6 and will go up to 9. So before our president now appear on radio station, you have to have dinner with you first. And within that dinner, if you're conscious minded, if you know what I know, the president and his colleagues will tell you what to say. Ask the president a question. So for the other round is how our media landscape is about to be under this government. But let's leave that. That will be for another day. I just thought to alert you because I said it this morning. I said information reaching me, and then I said Marshall just posted it. But let's go on to the issues that were discussed here by Alvin Wesseh in studio. 0779-003-835, 0779-003-835, 0880-907-907. These are the numbers for those of you here in Monrovia. For those of you in the counties, you call us on 0773-419-502. Those of you in the counties, 0773-419-502. And the Lone Star subscribers, you call us on 0555-184711. The females, you call us on 0773-978-564. Let's talk to the first person here this morning. Good morning. Morning. Okay.
Let me commend you and your student girls. But you see, the former minister is what we call political degenerate. That is what he is on this movie, right? Because all of these things that the former minister said, I told you we are in serving a government that brutalization was the smear of the Liberian people. What we students were being brutalized. For Russell was the traditional song people here. I was singing up package, our multiple exercise, our stadium. All of these things went under the carpet. In serving a government, went on the doors when anything happened. God, that when he goes to their job, the next day we will find a value from God. He said, nothing like that. So, what more right or what more ground do you have now to come and criticize the more responsible and what we call high level of administrative government that is proceeding well, but we are seeing massive road connectivity in the country.
Okay, thank you. Morning.
Good morning, Sir. Good morning to everybody. This is the voice of Peter Sign that James took me to school.
Okay.
On the main issue of the question, the president doing his television has been recognize the vision for Mexico. He is doing business with materialism. So how then will he come in to solve the problem when he has taken time? Is that another form of problem resolution I'm not seeing you are coming to see? That's my question.
Okay, morning. Morning.
Thank you for the second segment. This is Hussein Keo.
Okay.
So, I don't know the guest. I want to see one that I will experience on the bottle like you. Is that the we said on your show?
My brother, can we go to the issue quickly this morning?
No, I want to know your guest. So, moving forward, right? The ordinary who is sitting at the focus table this morning want to listen to a guest who will speak according to what they will get understanding. But he found that he was sophisticated, nothing new, nothing old. It's the same as the coloring, falsehood, and misleading the ordinary people. You say that 30 minutes of research is essential. You cannot outline one policy that you can't get after 30 minutes. So, then you want to come and beat the people without your political thoughts, it will not work. The people listening to that man.
Oh, he left the line. I think his credit finished. You have to call back or go recharge y'all. Morning.
Good morning. This is Patrick today, calling from Grande.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know, because we are many, we are citizens, we are persons, and for all of the fire corner, you have this trouble. My suggestion is, I would like of us to be to our business office, to get our people, so we can get our people.
Okay, so as far as he said, he'll answer to that. District office. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning, my dear sister. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Richard Parrish calling you from Steven Tower this morning at the Double Bridge. My dear sister, it's unfortunate that you used your time this morning on the radio to wait for the people that are trying to make himself look very relevant in this country.
My brother, I used my time. You were not forced to listen. You were just told to another station, so do not talk about my time, please.
But for the fact that, let me lend my thought. Alvin Wesseh should not portray himself as one of the most educated person in this country. And that will be using jargon to blackmail people. That's what I'm telling you. Because everything he said this morning is just a chicanery and
Three personal you chicanery.
Okay. You're right, my brother.
3 personal you chicanery now. Everybody.
And Alvin Wesseh, I will tell you, your CDC is no better than what you're doing right now. You took correct 6 years to loot this country, build this country, and take borrow money from our international community, pocket it and pay $1 million for your job here. So there you come into use propaganda against the government that is trying to set the country on fire. The international people will not listen to you because your different attitude that you brought in the CDC is not thinking you like to get to the international.
Okay, your time is exhausted. Morning.
Good morning, Samaria, and good morning to the people of Gregory County.
Okay.
My name so many people around here. And then I do join from Burma Bridge.
Okay.
Samaria, I think I will thank to you for inviting Alvin Wesseh, our honorable man. I think we appreciate for the activity for what I said. But then some of our families, we want at least the same thing when my colleague said, they took a color. That is not everyone of us to get a chance to go to the party headquarters. They need to at least
$10.
They need to go to the bigger station headquarters and then send it. Mobile money number because everyone will not get mobile money number all people. That some of us will be saying our day because some of us will willing to do that. And then we willing to do that. So we taking him, let him see up there and they go on the Bible that all the station headquarters will get the people there or the mobile money number that will be sending our people. Thank you for your appointment.
Okay, thank you. Continue playing the catch game away. Keep dialing *799*90#. *799*90#. Play with $200 Liberian dollars and stand a chance to win yourself $10,000 Liberian dollars or $50,000. Play more than one time. I'm urging you. The contest line 0773419502 0555184711. Let's talk to people out of Monrovia. Morning. Morning. That's from sir.
good morning, Sakura. My name is Alvin Wesseh, and I call from the US Ground.
Then now you calling on ya? I know Alvin Wood. Then now you calling on ya the people for the counting. Yeah. Morning. I know you have already there.
Anyway, I definitely calling from the Ghana grandfather that they want to come down there fund here.
Let's hear you from Grand Bassa.
Let me tell you to our family and senior family, Alvin Wesseh. My man, you made my day, my brother. Look, Sakura, thank you for asking Alvin Wesseh to come and try it down of this poor government, this government that trying the Nigerian people that are doing anything better for the Nigerian people. We are disappointed. Then we have a full government and on salary that fighting the government. We are disappointed in there. Because the party is supporting the government for the wrong thing they do to the citizen. Whatever is telling them what is going on in this government, they do not want to listen to it. We are disappointed in them. And we will move and we will not stop. We will continue moving. We will not
Okay.
stop. We will just thank you. We there for you. Thank you.
Morning. Good morning.
Sorry, Abraham, are you about to hear from Manga CDC?
How is Manga this morning?
Thanks to communicate this morning. My call to the speaker this morning because for us to cover is not to take President Waka serious. Because President Waka is not a serious man and pointing. You must always recognize your speaker and you're working with. Just as I was to the ruling because Waka is in his disgrace. He's in his disgrace of Prince Kamumwe who stood in for country and recognized the party to decentralize the registration. Because there are some people that from the capital where around people they are explaining today about the party, about this process.
Okay.
I will help the party for that. Thank you for the time and thank you for the program this morning.
Mama Williams, you were there talking some of the things that Mama Williams very quiet in morning. Morning.
Good morning, Samara.
Morning. What is your last from your name?
My name is Brother Chair calling from Grandmother Biganaka today.
Okay.
The first thing, Mr. Alvin, you said, I hope that you really battle if you want to be in Monterey, begging law. Then, there's that issue. Mr. President, or President we get, he's a court of the private in the country. He took 1 year, 4 months to lose the entire country. And somebody saying, well, we have to lose the country. I think they got it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We are still in the counters. Morning.
Good morning.
Walk away from your monitor.
Yes, I'm doing.
Okay, let's hear you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to Abu. Never made the man where Papa Yaka was the program and the chairman for the moment of the executive officer. Chairman, we are going county. This morning in Lake Deal. You know, let me come to the due payment process. As the head of the foundation of apology to him that for the rural part of Liberia, everyone constitution were not able to come to Rara to do that. So one who asked them to do that, they did things like the process that everybody will be part and parcel of the process. The president to the legal process of the different president. You know, there's not something like a we are aware from the very first time the president came to power doing a declaration. Now I don't care what the president we are. We can't be there and still won the election or we keep to the president no problem and on power. As a president, elected president, we have a solution. But I think to move you and put out of that capacity, the border for that brought this way to the point that make the president. Now the president. So the people they are not yet so they are two presidents that they brought to power. Now the first part to me of seeing the whole thing. Then we know our president, but be careful that every sort of point anything that you will not be able to play.
Okay, thank you. That's not the time. I'm begging you. If you call, we will give you 30 seconds. What you want to say within 30 seconds, because the calls, there are many. I know that we will not take all of the calls, definitely, but let's take as many calls as we can take. So if you call, we give you 30 seconds. After the 30 seconds, if you cannot say what you want to say within the 30 seconds, we cut you off. Okay, because we don't have much time. Keep playing the cash giveaway. Star 79 and star 90 hash flow of 200 and win some money. Morning.
Morning, Tamara.
I need to back from Banga.
Yeah, ma.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the show this morning. I just want to tell your student guests thank you. You know, the name I did. You know what, people coming on to buy this book, you can see them walking for Russian, dropping for their body. They come here to say that they love your people. They don't want to buy your say that for the 2 year experience, and they have it with a just CD experience. And so people in the age that they have it, so people can be all see the show working. But if I don't weekend, we say that I'm following you, but now when you walk in, you see him, oh, yeah, why you want to attend a year old today. They when they can say that, I'm not going to be forward today. My brother CDC is strong, even broke out here. You have to come all over here with you. That's what they are lying on. Thank you for the show this morning.
Okay, thank you. I need to buy this person. Yeah, morning.
Yes, morning.
Morning. Let's hear you. Let me know where you join us from.
I'm J.E. calling from Kawa.
Please put some strength in your voice. You are not calling Liberia on a Monrovia number either. But let's hear you.
I'm J.E. calling from Kawa.
Let's hear you.
I'm only want to Mr. Wu said that those that was the leader before, they should do restructure because they are those that led on to this. So let us do restructure before they start looking like that.
Thank you. Let's start to Monrovia. Morning.
Yeah. Morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, the people.
What's her name?
So you're not quiet name and tell us where you're joining us from first? Okay. 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 Thank you. This is Good Morning Liberia. My name is Samira One Line. Morning. Morning.
I'm just a
Okay.
yeah, with the
Hello?
yeah, with the issue of the Liberia election, you know, going forward, just to say that we know that Bongo not be the best senator.
To make us straight down.
We are going to be the best senator for that country. Bongo, I just for Nima, I say the father of the woman. Why is it the woman? So it's here, you cannot because there are 20 people. So that here is about anybody here from there. So with the issue of CDC, you know, we are willing to pay our due, but it should be this as well they can be. It cannot be done pretty much around.
Thank you. Morning. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. We will take 2 more calls, then we'll call it a day for the call segment. Morning. Let's hear you from Banga.
Yeah, but in country now, the president going to meet the Supreme Court. What are they waiting for? We told the address for the American president is the one behind the American removal of Vancouver. But when you use the one, the power to remove Nahidi over, you don't want to do it. That is very well. If I have about it, bringing wrong recording so that they can create more country that they can see more money from the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my name is Jojo.
Move away from your radio, Jojo.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear you. Yes, go ahead.
This fellow they call Alvin that you have there, he's talking causing the president.
What's her full name?
I'm going to
Jojo?
tell you that
No, NSM
one
mentor.
guy said we pay the money that was owing the world $4.9 billion.
I don't mean Jojo.
Which president came to power that never stole, that never have not stolen money?
Oh.
And then, where? What is it stolen the president like that for? The whole man can fall him. He has no respect for anything. He don't even talk
Okay, thank you, Jojo. Next person, morning.
Yeah, get young get new, Jojo.
Look, morning. Good morning. Good morning. You said why are you making my brother? Okay.
The concept resources are going by this government, so we will be moving. Then he comes, he is using the taxpayer money that they said that is pocket money or that the money is from Peter. No. Brother Alvin, thank you very much. You are made my day.
Okay, too many persons still are doing it today. Morning, so me I am to be at it today. All right. Morning. Yes, let's hear you. Okay.
The people rescue the citizen of Liberia rescuing Waka and his people. It is very clear. It's just in front of the country. You come into Somalia, you cry. The people who stole our country machines will all give us no account of that machine.
Okay.
We against Waka.
Okay.
Minister, President Waka, Minister.
Thank you. Morning.
Good morning.
Do it quickly. Your name and where do you join us from?
This is strong power of the country.
Quickly.
I don't want to tell our government is the chief payment. Hey, let's go to three people or so. The parliament knows so much sure the poor we are still sending back to protect it by the people. We are sending back to pay. The country we can pay our due. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will take the last person. Please do not call. Please. This is the last call we are taking. We will not take everybody calls like we can always say. So y'all stop calling, please. This is the last person. Morning.
Good morning, Samara.
Morning.
Yes, Samara, this is John P. I call from California.
It's been a long time, y'all got him. I said it's been a while. Oh, it's that like it's really bad.
Good morning.
Yes, I said it's been a while. Go ahead. You see, the man that way he get love when he can make it. Okay, so let's go quickly. I mean, you listen to the callers. What do you have to say? You want to address some of the things that some people said, some of the questions that we asked, and also gave your party comment, so that we call it a day as we have just 2 minutes to our closing time.
Thank you, Samira, for beautifully, and I have no doubted your ability to do due diligence and to dispense justice to the media this morning. And let me appreciate you very much for the professionalism you brought to the national discourse. If you listen to the callers, majority of the callers have supported all what we've said here. And so I don't want to dignify the turning rescue charlatans and political zombies who are low profile mammons parading and gallivanting from the crumbs that are forth and against our bosses. I'm concerned about their masters, their slave masters, and now the puppeteers. On the issues about the due payment issue.
These people too, I mean, they are our followers too.
No, I mean,
so you don't want to. Yeah, I mean,
imagine somebody, imagine.
You keep laughing.
Imagine, for example.
They're all like peers.
So when it comes with the discourse with respect, we reciprocate that. When you come with arrogance,
The people say that you shouldn't be talking.
No, but I'm not responsible. I am not responsible for that. I'm not responsible for that. When somebody talk to your radio, for example, and you know very well that I have a bachelor degree in agriculture, and somebody still saying that, and you want me to give them honey and give them milk and give them extra. You can't do that. You know, that's a.
Okay, that's how you come here. You still getting people that I will call you.
Yeah, I will say that. No, I don't get problem. If you call, I don't want all to spend time on them because they are inconsequential, they are immaterial to the process. I don't want us to waste my time. I see what people call here, they raise concerns. I want to address the concerns. Yeah.
Let's go right back there. Wait. Instead of talking.
How can somebody
Let's go back.
You calling directly your mentor, your teacher, your Lord, your God, your Savior. The men in school, the men in school. The men in 1 degree. Having said going back to you and value there. You calling somebody your Lord, your teacher, your mentor, your Savior, and your leader. Directly Baga, what you talking about? Baga, as I speak to you, I challenge anybody from the party. Baga will get one BSc. Yes. Who tell you Baga BSc? We don't want. No, but I'm just saying, those are the things. Don't when you want brag about education, your vice president Jeremiah you can't be a 15 sentence. I don't know.
They never wrote you before.
I'm saying that's just all the people talking about not go to school. All the people calling you can all the people talking about not go to school. Now you don't come. All the people don't go to school.
Okay, so let's go to
the come here. So now on the issues about the due payment process. Well, I'd like to appreciate all our callers across most of our environs, particularly in the various counties. The April 12 is we encouraging our policies to come outside April 12 because April 12 is just for the launch. So so there'll be a decentralization process of all of our counties. Will be mobilized. Each county will have its own due payment process with the county structure and the primary bill. So what will be happening at the party's headquarters April 12 will be about the kick-off to just launch the process and create awareness so that you get when somebody tells you pay due, you know that the party headquarters and the National Executive Committee has approved that there is a due payment process and exercise that is going on. So the purpose is about awareness, it's about kick-off, it's about launch. So we start April 12. By the time we're done with April 12, which is this coming Saturday at the party headquarters, then we move to the districts, then we move to the county. It is important to come because we think that our political leader will be there. Our political leader will be there. The Congress for Democratic Change political leader, yes, President Jordan will be here. Come and celebrate as well because after the due payment, there will be what we call a social El Clasico, Jamboree or Fiesta. I will continue to see those things because I'm not responsible for their grammatical misfortune. There will be celebration there. So after the process,
okay, somebody commented on the live video and they say Alvin is the juju man for United Party.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe that. All like a Chicano
Three of the juveniles from the Turning Rescue Mission, the call and everybody is in juvenile and Kari, how do you call it?
Chicano.
Then one man, the government call is Jojo. So I want to conclude by saying to you, Samira, that our political leader will be Osa. Bakugbe be Osa. It's a very colorful moment, and it will provide awareness for the program on the 12th. The chairman of our party, Comrade Jenga Ko, will be there, and the entire due payment committee will be there, will be represented adequately. So after that process will be decentralized. Now, in my information to you, to all journalists that are following, when Baga took over, the first thing Baga saw do was to call her for dinner. Baga buy a lesson and buy a private jet and build condominium and build mansion. Here in government official, they are still on industrial skill. Don't waste your time. Do not eat from Baga. Anything you take from Baga is a devil offer, is a devil gift. Prince Johnson ate from Baga, you know what happened? I don't want to warn you. Nobody will eat from Baga. In fact, if they call you to go to what we call dinner, when Bagas are having dinner in the country, if they call for dinner, let there be an open dinner. Let there be an open dinner. And so, in my conclusion to the next item in Nimba County, we say to you, Koga is a representation of all the bad things happening in the country. The bad things that are happening in the country. The people in Nimba County listen. that covenant government, you warning Joseph Yuma Bwaka and by extension Jeremiah come for the wickedness happening in Nima County. And if you're comfortable with the death of Prince Johnson, you must elect Koga. He must go after the United Party candidate. So he's a bad representation in for the people of Nima County, and they must categorically reject Koga, because if you're not happy, you're not comfortable with the way Prince Johnson died, if you're happy, then you can go and gamble Nima County. And when Koga returns to the Senate, Koga will be worse than what he did in the House of Representatives. So I want to say this to you, that Mr. Kofa, Speaker Kofa, Funadi Kofa, we want to say that categorically here. Do not do business with Mr. Bwaka. The law is on your side, the law is the law. But when the court rules in the interest of the law, we will proceed. We will proceed at the Capitol building, and we show that you are coronated and you are being given the space to function as the legitimate speaker, the legal speaker constitutionally, and you will be able to ensure that you run the state affairs of the House of Representatives. So do not bow down to pressure to the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. We want to say to you clearly here that Mr. Bwaka must not interfere in your ruling. He must not call you as he called the journalist. You have never respected you guys before. You rule in the FTA case, he challenged you, he disgraced you, he embarrassed you, he called a budget. He's a wicked old man who taking everything for himself, and that's what we're saying to you. Enough is enough. Let us do the right thing. The law is the law. Thank you all so much, Samira, for the time. I appreciate you ever so much. Okay. We have a very marathon discussion, and it was something that was breathtaking. It was welcoming. I admire the discourse. I admire your professionalism, and the reaction says a lot. Thanks to our callers and thanks to our listeners.